has come. Christmas! Hi, I'm Anthonix Maximus, bitching to you about movies because I actually am releasing this on Christmas Day. Don't look at the upload date. That's right, Anthonix Maxiteers. Christmas has come, it is here, and it's out the door. We can move on with our lives. During my Batman review, I did mention I was going to review Batman Returns as a Christmas movie. Yes, I believe Batman Returns is a Christmas movie, in the same vein that I believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. The plot revolves around Christmas time. The theme is about family and loneliness, and it involves characters discovering their roots, along with also trying to cope without a family and trying to find happiness elsewhere. So those are the pieces to me that actually make for a Christmas movie. The plot that happens in this film is very reliant on Christmas because, well, the villains actually need to use the holiday cheer to manipulate their plans. And in this film, we actually have the return of, well, just about everyone that needed to be in the film. Michael Keaton, Michael Gough, Pat Hingle, and we also have new characters such as Michelle Pfeiffer as Lena Kyle and Danny DeVito as the Penguin, along with Max Schreck being played by Christopher Walken. So you know you'll enjoy this. I can't do a Christopher Walken. I'm sorry. You want a Jimmy Stewart? Merry Christmas, Clarice! There you go. I can give you that. I can't do a Christopher Walken. I think I gave away all the information I needed in a Batman review, which, by the way, the link is down below. The only difference in this film now is that Tim Burton is back, but in his mind, he doesn't think this is a sequel. Yes, it does have Michael Keaton as Batman, Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon, and Michael Gough as Alfred. Here's the thing. You'll notice the city is actually built differently, and so is the cave. In Tim Burton's eyes, it's not a sequel if everything else is changed. Even the emblem on Batman's chest is a little different, so it's a whole different movie, of course. It's kind of weird because decades later, Tim Burton would go on and make a sequel to Alice in Wonderland, so I think he's dropping that. In this film, it was supposed to be Penguin and the Riddler as the bad guys. The rumor behind that was Riddler was going to be played by Robin Williams. They decided to throw in Catwoman instead for this one. So they went with Michelle Pfeiffer. The Penguin is played by Danny DeVito. And if you don't think I'm going to be using a series of Frank Reynolds in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia clips, oh, well, you better buckle up, buckaroo, bonsai, because I am going to use those clips like crazy.
You gotta pay the troll toll. If you want to get into that boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
Oh, and the film was also supposed to have Robin in it. Once again, being talked about being played by Marlon Wayans, but at the last minute they decided not to go with that. There were some other additions in the screenplay by Sam Hamm, but we'll get to that as we move along. A little funny story though, Kenner actually released the toy line for Batman Returns, but they didn't really get the script or the details. That's why the Penguin looks like a different color version of the classic Penguin that we know from the comics. And that's why the toy line also includes a Robin. So if you wanted to know what Marlon Wayans' Robin was going to look like, well, of course there's going to be a few different changes from the toy to the movie, but that's pretty much the outfit he was going to wear. Well, anyways, with no further ado, I got my Batman hot chocolate. And look, there's actually hot chocolate in there. Beat that, Kirk Cameron. And in the spirit of Batman Returns and the Penguin, let's change up the hat with this old beat-up number. Happy birthday. You might hear some wind in the background or crackling microphone. We'll find out when I'm actually start editing. So we open up on Baby Penguin being born. Penguin's dad is played by Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman himself. Tim Burton really wanted Burgess Meredith to play the father, since after all, Burgess Meredith played the Penguin in the 60s TV show. Unfortunately, the actor was sick at the time and could not do it, so Paul Reubens was called in. Interestingly enough, decades later, Paul Reubens would play Penguin's dad in the TV show Gotham. Oh, Did I say penguin? I guess the mother gave birth to Alf. Danny Elfman. Well, the credits did feel like 33 years, so yeah. Oh, look, it's our sitting president's next wife. Ooh, burn! Oh, now a guy on the internet is political. And here is Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken. He is trying to talk the mayor into allowing him to open up a power plant in Gotham. Years later from now, he would play Angel's dad.
I have a suggestion. Actually, really just more like a question.
She makes a hell of a cup of coffee.
And she knows how to make her coffee. She's seen those old commercials.
You know, the girls down at the office make better coffee on their hot plates. Well, see you later.
Women are just walking incubators.
Dad, Mr. Mayor, time to go down and bring joy to the masses.
Okay, I have to say kudos to the casting director, because Max Schreck's son really does play a good Christopher Walken impression. I'm actually convinced that they are father and son because of the accents. And as soon as Selena realized that Max Schreck left his speech, she goes following him. We discover a shadowy figure. Wait a minute, 3 fingers on each hand, living in a sewer, and they're kind enough to bring presents? It's a Ninja Turtle! Because clearly I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Great idea.
Not mine.
Hey, any of you afraid of clowns? It's kind of hard to bring someone in alive when you shoot at them. Ooh, and now we cut to Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton, pondering in the darkness, the last episode of The Mandalorian this season. I get it, that poor baby Grogu, not Grugor like I was saying in the last review. And you know, I probably said that for weeks and no one corrected me. It's Grogu, not Grugor. No one corrected me. That's right, nothing is ever my fault. I'm just gonna put the blame on everyone else. Okay, that's a nice cinematic shot and all, but I would like to see how you explain that to your guests. Hey Bruce, what's that big giant spotlight doing on your property? Don't worry about it. Yay! Batman defeated the devil. That means there is no more evil left in the world. That's right. Zack Snyder's not the only one that'll use Batman to kill people.
Take one step closer, Mr. Man-Bat.
I always hated that shot. It always looks like Batman has a pistol and he's just gonna shoot at someone. I mean, granted, in the early comics, Batman did have a gun, but they gotta stop showing promo shots with Batman with various guns, especially if they're really sticking to the rule of Batman refusing to use guns.
The Batman.
No, the Batman won't happen until we see Rob Pattinson. No, we don't call him the Batman until he's played by Rob Pattinson. Electrifying people is fun. This alley shown right here is actually the same alley as the exterior shot of Two-Face's lair in the next movie. Ah yes, abandoned zoos, where they leave penguins behind.
Hi.
I see things didn't go very well for Matilda's dad.
We're both perceived as monsters, but somehow we're a well-respected monster.
Okay, so I do like this, because this is the first time we actually see a corrupt businessman. They start existing more in the comic books, especially in the rise of the 80s, as I mentioned in the last Batman movie review where politicians and businessmen were starting to be looked at as more of an underhanded villain role. This is the first time we see on a big screen that there are more corrupt businessmen. And I do like the idea of Max Schreck being the well-to-do, respected businessman that's pulling the strings and being manipulative to the masses, but really trying to incorporate his own evil plans, where Penguin is obvious and already evil, and that's probably more because that's how he was created. We live in a society.
Sick waste from your clean textile plant.
Penguin, if it's his stocking, let him open the gifts.
Once we're both back home, perhaps we can help each other out.
The Penguin goes out of his way to kidnap Max Schreck. At the same time, Max Schreck kind of flips it onto the Penguin, and now Max Schreck is kind of the one pulling the strings here. He's actually using the Penguin for his own personal gain.
You won't regret this, Mr. Shrek.
What I like about this Penguin is he is a monstrous form. Tim Burton really likes to use the circus freak aspect of things. And otherwise, Penguin has always been portrayed as just a gangster beforehand, just a gangster, but he tried to fit into society himself. Nowadays, Penguin tries to fit into kind of the underworld empire, just kind of like the Kingpin, but kind of like an underworld type of living, while at the same time trying to be more into politics.
Honey, I'm home! Oh, I forgot. I'm not married.
Ha! That's so Selena.
Back from more sexual escapades refused to share?
Jeez, lady, how lonely are you? You want to hear about the sexual escapades of a cat?
And that, instead of generating power, it'll sort of be sucking power from, Gotham City.
You can't do that. You can't just go and announce that you know things. I mean, come on. You just really hate to see that. Now, this is the confusing part of the film, because are the cats bringing her back to life? Or where she didn't really die, but she got her head knocked and now she's triggered into something a bit crazy. I like to think it's more of the latter than the former, because I just don't want to think that these Batman films had any kind of magic to it. I just like to think the blunt force just kind of banged something into her head. Sort of like in the mid-1800s for Phineas Gage. He was a very nice, mild-mannered man. He actually had an injury that went right through his brain. He survived it, but it triggered something in his mind where he became very angry and just a whole different 180 on a personality. I mean, I don't think I would be a very nice guy either, but just saying, I think that's kind of what happened to Selena Kyle. I think she actually was banged up enough where something triggered into her mind. Oh my God, you shouldn't be giving cats milk. She is pure evil now.
A lady perfume, exclusively at Shrek's department.
Look, I have the same reaction anytime a solicitor calls me too. No, not the stuffed animals. Here, you can take this non-gizmo.
What your family goes through, and your friends, and your money!
I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
It used to say hello there, but now she changed it to hell here because she's a feisty, kinky cat.
I'm not really one for speeches, so I'll just say thanks.
People in Gotham really don't do anything if Batman's not there, huh?
Here, take the baby. Just don't hurt me, please.
Perhaps we can decorate the tree together like a happy family. No, Alfred, decorate it yourself or I'll fire you!
The First Amendment, abridging the freedom of the press.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so interesting observation that I have, and this is a theory of mine. This reporter, with the one with the mustache, you never really get a good look at him.
What's the deal, Mr. Shrek? Is the Penguin a personal friend?
Yes, he's a personal friend.
I actually have a feeling that he was actually supposed to be played by Robert Wolf from the last movie, Alexander Knox, because Alexander Knox was specifically created for Batman. the film, anyways. And Tim Burton actually really did like Robert Wuhl, and he really did want Robert Wuhl to come back for this film. But Robert Wuhl wasn't available, so I have a feeling that this guy, since he is given quite a bit of screen time in this film, in small doses anyways, I have a feeling he's supposed to be Alexander Knox.
Cold. It's vice versa. It's supposed to be cold.
Alfred, it's winter time. He's in a cave. Why are you giving him cold soup? Okay, we know the Penguin's really lying about his feelings and everything, but the music on its own sells it. Now, the reason why I like Batman Returns is because the music is more soft and actually plays towards the whole Christmas theme anyways. So yes, again, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
So, Mr. Penguin!
There goes that unnamed reporter again. And his mannerisms kind of are like Robert Wuhl, so yeah, I'm going to assume that this is Alexander Knox.
I have a name.
Mantis Toboggan, MD.
And here is Catwoman in action. After reading some of the reviews of Wonder Woman 84, I feel like if social media existed in 1992, they would be calling Catwoman a social justice warrior or a feminazi. So, yeah, good thing the internet wasn't as big as it is now.
This report, I thought you might want to take a look at it.
You know, if you guys sat next to each other, you wouldn't have to throw papers at each other.
If my assistant was here, she already would have escorted you out to
Anywhere he wants.
Selena Kyle got the she's all that treatment. Remove the glasses, remove the ponytail, and she's all that. Or should I say all cat? Let's not think any further on that. Let's just keep going. That's right, Max Schreck is trying to get the Penguin to run for mayor. This is actually supposed to be reminiscent of the 1966 series, where in the 1960s Batman, the Penguin actually had a plot to run as mayor. He was actually running against Batman. This is actually a plot point for the Penguin that would follow for years to come. As I mentioned, Penguin is the type of bad guy that tries to fit into the social elite circles, but because he's Penguin, he never fits in. So you'll find, like in later comics, at least the cartoon adaptations of the comics, or the comic book adaptations of the cartoon series, Penguin is trying to run for mayor. And that plot point also continues on the TV show Gotham, where for a brief time, the Penguin was the mayor.
Not a lot of reflective surfaces down on the sewer, huh?
Ah, with that anteater nose, you're telling me I'm ugly? Do I look suspicious?
He bit a guy's nose, and people are still gonna be voting for him. In this day and age, that would not surprise me. Weird campaign tactic, but alright. Weird programmable battering, but alright. I did like the fact that he actually was planning on letting it hit the woman. So, Batman is not about gender. Anyone can get beaten. Yeah, it's just Zack Snyder that makes Batman a murderer. Up until the recent Batman movies, I actually like to affectionately call Tim Burton Batman movies the killing spree Batman movies.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Fun fact. Michelle Pfeiffer actually practiced for a long time to do this. In this particular scene, she nailed it in the first shot.
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
You know, as a kid, I used to think, no, there's no way anyone would ever vote for someone so monstrously evil into any kind of political office. Well, time made a fool out of me. Top or go?
Meow.
But this is a fun little meet cute. I mean, it's no Matt Murdock and Elektra Nachos fighting in a park, but this is a nice little meet cute.
Life's a bitch. Now so am I.
something one of my exes would say to me. I'm infatuated with you.
Saved by kitty litter.
Just the pussy I've been looking for.
Damn, even for 1990s, that was downright dirty.
To destroy Batman, we must first turn him into what he hates the most. Namely us.
Oh, she's aware she's bad. Just like Julie Newmar's Catwoman. Well, alright, so Julie Newmar's Catwoman was always more of the playful Divatox type of Catwoman. Then you had Lee Merriweather Catwoman from the 1960s Batman movie, where she was just pretty much, I guess, a Russian Catwoman. And of course you had Eartha Kitt, who I swear they hired her just so she can roll her R's. But this one, she plays very well to her sexiness and to her sadisticness. Another thing that Michelle Pfeiffer actually did, she put the whole entire bird in her mouth. There was like no tricks or anything. Michelle Pfeiffer really put herself out there for this film. That's not how shadows work.
Selena?
Huh?
Hi.
Don't interrupt her. She's checking out the new Hasbro Lightning collection. Okay, now I gotta put this back because I made a stupid toy joke. While I'm at it, I better fix this light bulb here because, dollar store lights don't... You know what? Just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I'll just turn on this Zordon light. There we go. Zordon's all set to go. Just like my first Christmas review, Alpha's Magical Christmas. It all ties together, you guys. Where was I? Oh yeah, Batman Returns.
Say cheese.
Cheese!
She's such a dumb bimbo. And I'm not saying that to insult her. That's how her character is written. She's actually one of my favorite characters in the film just because how innocently dumb she is. But you guys are going to have your dinner at a long table and then decide to cut into Alfred's time by going into the kitchen and making him tell you stories? Just like you did with Vicky Vale? You're losing your touch, Bruce.
See, Vicky thought.
Vicky? Ice skater or stewardess?
God, I love Selena Kyle much better than Vicky. Guys with broken past turn me on. Up. They're discovering each other's battle scars. Commissioner Gordon, you just threw your ally under the bus. You.
I haven't been fed all day.
Eat floor. High fiber.
Well, see, now that is nice, solid, healthy eating advice. Thank you, Batman.
Fresh fruits and vegetables make some of the best snacks there are.
What do we have, Batman?
Any of them, Robin, you can't miss.
Lawn dart!
Oh, then. Ice Princess fell.
Hold you!
You know, if you guys were good cops, you would actually discover one of Penguin's umbrellas.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
But a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it.
Well, no one should be eating mistletoes. She's not making a move on him. He just had some hot chocolate on his lips. He's licking his own lips. He enjoyed it. But at least we do get this awesome glider scene. Because that doesn't make you look crazy, flying around like a giant bat.
I wouldn't touch you to scratch you.
You lousy minx! You tell her she's a goddamn whore!
The deal's off.
Start your screaming!
I'm kind of jealous. The Penguin has that fun arcade ride. But will Batman get out of this? Find out after these messages.
There's just one. Diet Coke. Just for the taste.
I would wait a couple minutes before opening that can.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? Yeah.
Batman's penis mobile.
Wheeling wretched pinhead puppets of Gotham.
Seriously, by today's standards, that wouldn't even affect a politician. I'm getting really political in this review. The movie's about the Penguin becoming the mayor. Of course, I'm going to be a little political.
From hell. I'm this stinking thing.
That's not how CDs work.
Why is there always someone who brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech?
Another reason why I always like the Penguin, he always has these like random observations.
Anyway, I started blasting. I am not a human being! I am an animal!
You see what he did there, right? Alright, this is actually a parody of The Elephant Man. Ah yes, Max Shrek annual costume party during Christmas. And everyone's costume happens to be public domain. It does crack me up that a socialite like Max Shrek is actually playing Rick James at his party. See, this is actually one of my favorite scenes, not even just in this movie, but in cinema in general. You actually have two masked characters like Batman and Catwoman, and they've reached that point where they've sort of found each other because they both understand each other's internal struggle. And it's almost like they found a kinship. And this is the moment where Selina Kyle and even Bruce Wayne are starting to let their guard down.
I guess I'm tired of wearing masks.
Me too.
And let their emotions take over. I really do like how the scene plays out. Like, Selina is on a verge of breakdown. She's not even being Catwoman when she's attempting to kill Max Shrek. She's actually going to kill him herself with a gun. It's actually very femme fatale that you would find in the film noir, where the female antagonist starts to really play into her emotions and she is trying to seek her revenge.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
I guess it can be even deadly.
Okay, so the lesson here is don't eat mistletoe. Got it. Don't eat mistletoe and don't ever fall in love. But no, here comes C-Block Penguin.
Now my troops are fanning out across town for your children, for your firstborn son.
Don't worry, they're only the first kid. That's the experimental kid.
I'll let the little prince live for now. In the duck.
This is the one time Max Shrek actually thinks about someone else but himself. And we see the circus folk trying to steal the children, but they're quickly apprehended and stopped by Batman. But it's very polite that Batman left a nice note. And now the Penguin has his Patton moment.
The time has come to punish all God's children.
The Bat Ski Boat! There you go, parents. Something for you to buy your kids. And the Penguin uses his army of penguins to launch missiles into Gotham. Their radar is quickly jammed and they are headed back. Don't worry, PETA, the Penguins were fine. They learned a valuable lesson from Milo and Otis. You know, if this zoo is like an amusement park that has ducks that are motorized, why did it ever shut down? It seems like a pretty cool zoo. That's right, Batman has control of the penguins with his red button. What I like about this Batman, the costume is restrictive, so he can't really do too much of heavy fighting, but Michael Keaton always sells it. Like a quick backhand is usually the answer, and only Michael Keaton Batman can pull that off. Okay, so I want to know how that would have worked out if Batman was the one to press the button. If he pressed the button, did that mean the penguins not only start firing, but the bats would actually start going after himself? I just wanted to know what the whole idea was.
You're saving yourself. Shut up, you're going to jail.
I always love that moment. Hey, his eye makeup is mysteriously gone. So yeah, anyone who wants to make fun of Batman in Batman v Superman because the same thing happened, remember it happened first here at Batman Returns.
Selina Kyle. You're fired.
3 lives down. You got enough in there to finish me off?
One way to find out.
Yeah, so this is the weird thing about this film. They really push on the whole 9 lives thing, but again, I don't like the idea of Catwoman actually having real power. That's like in that weird Halle Berry Catwoman movie where she was resuscitated by the magic of cats. I like to think all those things that Selina survived were just kind of going back to what I mentioned earlier about being crazy enough to survive. Kind of like she only lives through all those things, probably badly injured, but lives through all those things because, well, she's crazy enough to have a goal, to have a mission, to keep going. It's kind of like the strive for life, I guess. I don't know. Again, I just don't want to incorporate magic into Tim Burton's films. No supernatural. And I think that's why Tim Burton doesn't even acknowledge Metropolis or any other city, just Gotham. Don't worry. Selina warms up to him in Hairspray. So I gotta point this out real quick. In the original script, the thing about Max Schreck is it was going to be revealed that Max Schreck is actually Penguin's brother. Yeah, after Penguin was abandoned, the Cobblepots decide to have another kid. Not sure why he changed his name, but yeah, it was going to be revealed that Max Schreck is Penguin's brother. And another version of the script, there was going to be Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent in this film, and in the courses of this movie, he was actually going to be damaged. I think this scene coming up. But clearly Billy D. Williams isn't in this film, so there's that gore that would shake things up for Batman films in that decade. And the Penguin's not quite dead yet.
I'm fit to kill one.
Aw, the cute, adorable penguins are bringing him to his watery grave. And when I say penguins, I mean children dressed up as penguins. Penguins aren't even touching him. He's just on a board that's bringing him to the water. That must be weird, though, to be a kid actor dressed up as a penguin having to shove a dead body into the water. And thus, the movie ends with Bruce going off to celebrate Christmas with Alfred, and now he owns Selina's cat.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Albert.
Christmas came, no weenie whistle.
And we cut to Catwoman looking at the bat signal. It was supposed to be a bit of a cliffhanger for the third movie, but we couldn't get Michelle Pfeiffer to be Catwoman, so we miss out on her in the next film. Although it is weird, though, that the bat signal is back up, because by all accounts, with Penguin being dead and all the criminals pretty much escaped or dead as well, there's really nothing that actually saves Batman's reputation. So far as the city's concerned, Batman is still a criminal, so why are they sending the signal out now? Yeah, Tim Burton actually had plans to make a spin-off movie of Catwoman starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Unfortunately, too much time had passed, and they couldn't get Michelle Pfeiffer, and that's why we got left with the Halle Berry Catwoman, which has very little to no ties to this movie except for a picture of the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman in the background. Now, here's the thing. This movie was incredibly popular. Many dubbed it to be better than the first movie, and in many ways, yeah, it was great. It was pretty much what solidified the idea of Batman. Problem with that, McDonald's and the toy lines did not like that whatsoever. This movie was actually the first time we got to see all the different product placements of Batman Returns. They really were trying to market off of this. Problem is, this movie was so sexually suggestive and so violent and so gorish, it was hard to sell the toys for these. McDonald's then had to tell Warner Brothers that tone down Batman in the future, or else we're cutting off all ties. And you do not want to piss off McDonald's or the toy companies or any of the merchandise companies that you work with a studio. You have to pretty much buckle to their negotiations. And because of that, Batman was toned down for the following two movies. That's why we were left with the Joel Schumacher films, because we had to make Batman brighter and more of a lighter tone. It's a bit of a sad collateral damage. Such a great movie is the result of the worst Batman films to follow. This was, to me, far as I'm concerned, a Christmas movie. Even ends on the whole somber note of a lonely Christmas, because only Batman can have a lonely Christmas. And thus marks the 2020 holiday season. I reviewed 3 Christmas movies this year, just because I really had to make up for lost time. I feel like with this craziness of this year, I had to kind of keep a bit more busy. That's why I had to do extra this year. We had the Santa Claus, followed by the Gremlins, and this movie. The only downside about this movie was no Judge Reinhold. I'm sorry, I know. The first 2 movies I mentioned had Judge Reinhold. This one, Judge Reinhold couldn't even show up. Anyways, without going any further, I'm just gonna go ahead and come out and say this. Thank you for watching. It's been an interesting year. Not the best year I wanted, but it also kind of kept me busy as well. And I really appreciate any set of eyes that watch me on this. I really do. So thank you for that. And I ask you to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you know of my next video. And just have yourself a happy holiday, and let's have a happy new year as well. Knock on wood. Take care.